Wise going live. Wise going live. Going live. Yeah. Going live. Wise going live. Yeah. Going live. Wise going live. Yeah, we elevate the game. Tech in my mind, innovation in my veins. Turn the mic up. Let the vision arrive with creativity meets technology. Wise going live. Yeah, we elevate the game. Tech in my mind, innovation in my veins. Turn the mic up. Let the vision arrive with creativity meets technology. Wise going live. Step in the room, it's creation in motion. AI ideas, pure devotion. From the code to the cloud, we thrive. It's more than a stream, it's a state of mind. Wise going live. Purpose on display, lighting up the world in a brand new way. Plug in your dreams, let your spark survive. We breaking the limits. What's going live?
And the best and the greatest day to be alive is today. So shout out to one of my close friends, Coach Antonio Landis Thomas, for that quote, because it is the best day to be alive is today. I feel it, and I'm glad everybody here. And welcome to Wise is Going Live, where we have creativity that meet technology. And I talk about today gonna be photo technology when we're talking about the Samsung phones family. I want you guys to tune in tonight because we're gonna talk about the Android ecosystem, another level, because we want to focus here and give back about how we can use the technology, especially the camera phones. The computers in our pocket, they got amazing cameras. And one way we want to give back is show you how you can use this to make amazing photos. Then also, add a little bit of twist of AI in the mix as well. So we are thankful for everybody who come in today. Just want to remind the people to share, to subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Sharing is caring, they say. Sharing is caring. So definitely for episode 2, we want your guys to share. And we want to make y'all guys realize that with our channel is focused on merging mobile photography and AI to elevate your creativity. And the thing is, it's an opportunity for us to actually grow together, learn more things about how we can use the amazing phones, these smartphones in our pocket, and use amazing photography. So this channel here to get back, to help folks out when they want to do certain things, especially when it comes for the photography end of it, because I tell you, this technology is amazing. You just think about maybe even 20 years back, for those who are watching who's not that have been dealing with phones and cameras for so long, and how technology has really changed. So we are thankful for everybody to come here and let me help you become a better version of you when it comes to this technology. So that's one of the main things we want to do here. So, y'all guys, this is a live stream. We're going to keep it real. We're going to, as I go through and start to show you some stuff, and hopefully this stuff help you as well, then y'all guys can hit me back in the chat. So I'm going to go to the comment field right now and see if anybody shared anything. Right now, my lovely wife, Lakeisha Wise, and I am Lakeisha. She said, share, invite everybody. Hey, want y'all guys to definitely do that. Share and invite. Like I said, we're here to work it together. We're here to give back. And I think this is a great opportunity. As I shared last week, I am being a photographer in the early 2000s, in the mid 2000s, doing portraits and wedding photography and stuff. I used to love that. Then life hit me, and I fell out of love with some of the whole lot of passion I had in my life. So recently, when I sat down with my lovely wife and stuff, and she gave me the encouragement, go back to the things you love to do. And one of the things I love to do is photography. But I thought about something. Technology had changed since the early 2000s when I first picked up, and I didn't get a film camera. I bought a digital camera when I first started doing photography and everything like that. So now being, in at the time of this live, 2026, technology in the cameras have changed, especially in the smartphone arena. And you can take so many amazing photos with that. So this is opportunity here just to be able to share some information here that will, especially since we're talking about Samsung today. I rock with my daily driver is an iPhone, but I do have a Samsung phone that I use for testing purposes and see what's the difference in pair stuff. So today we're gonna be talking about this amazing, amazing phone right here. This amazing Samsung Ultra 26. And they're gonna be, of course, they're gonna be coming up with the Ultra 27 probably soon in the next few months. But this phone right here is amazing. See how this blue right here is amazing blue on this thing right here. So nice and beautiful blue in here. But it's amazing what this thing packed inside of it. And one of the things we're gonna talk about today, I'm gonna give you a little taste on what I'm talking about. So we're gonna actually today we'll be talking to this amazing photo of my wife right here. Look how beautiful she is, and she rocking her Detroit Pistons shirt. What up, though? So what up, though? And I'm a Laker fan. We ain't gonna talk about that now. A whole lot of trades happen. They got different names of the team now, and we ain't gonna talk about that right now. So we're gonna this is a photography show. So with that being said. And it's amazing how technology can change something real quick. See that? So we're going to talk about what I did to be able to create that image you see right there. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna talk about this that came from the Samsung Ultra, and we're gonna talk about this. So I need y'all guys to definitely stay tuned. And we're going to be getting down and talking about some amazing stuff. Oh, I see my wife with that. She already hit me over with a up, though, What up, though? So we appreciate you. Thank you, babe, for the support. Thank you for all you do. So, as we always say here, I got to play this right here.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot. And we welcome everybody from being here. So let's go ahead and start diving in. What we want to talk about today is dealing with this amazing, amazing phone. So what I'll do, I always try to bring up some graphics and stuff and talk about some things. So let's go ahead and bring up the first thing. We're going to talk about mastering your manual controls through your Ultra 26. This is a walkthrough. So those who have not even, you take the camera out, you just take the camera out and just hit the camera button, just boom, boom. So we're going to actually talk about some settings that might can help you be able to be a better, I guess you say mobile photographer, smartphone photographer, whatever it is, you can take pictures much better. So we're going to go ahead and jump in real quick. We talked about a little bit last week, but the thing about auto mode, that's you giving the control to the algorithm of the device to be able to process and be able to take image in. And I'll tell you, I say 8 times out of 10, you get some amazing photos. But if you just take a moment, change some settings in it, change this, take your time, you're amazing what even better photos you can actually make as well. So what we want to do is don't count on auto mode every time. I want you guys to slow down, pause for a second, and say, you know what? I can probably get a better photo out of this. If I just change this setting, maybe I don't have to count on auto mode in each and every time. So I'm going to go through the phone, show you how to turn on certain few settings that will help you as a guide to make some better photos. So let's go to the next one. The biggest thing is, I love this. We talked about last week when we were dealing with the iPhone, and that is turn it on your grid. Your grid means a lot. It helps you frame your shot. And sometimes we just have it there and we just turn it on. We see the picture and the thing, but we don't realize there's some dynamics there. The grid helps a lot, especially when you set your point of focus, set your so you can get a depth of field. You can, you can anchor the shot. You can, like Eric said, you're anchoring your horizon, then the framing your perspective. You see some amazing photos. Not all the objects are in the center. They actually are placed in place in the grid, give you a great point of being able to do that. So we definitely want to show you how to turn on your grid And so and some other features, especially on the Samsung, that sometimes is lacking on the Apple. I would say it's lacking on the Apple, on the iPhone. But that's one thing about Samsung. There, go ahead and throw some things in. So there's some additional features that definitely would help. So let's go ahead and jump to the next thing. All right, we got standard. Everybody, that's most of what people have the thing set for anyway, right? You have it set for standard, and then you have Pro mode. Then you have the export raw mode. The biggest thing, as we talked about last week, when you go to different modes, the biggest challenges you have is the size of the space that you use up for doing when you take photos. It's the space you take up. And that question came up last week. And actually another question, I'll share this towards when we get to the answer question session. And a question came up last week about file sizes from last week. So I'm going to share that question and the answer for that. But you got standard auto, then you got pro mode, then you got the expert raw. And the biggest thing is, like you see the different in the formats and the size and stuff. Then you see the thing about the speed, then the creativity mode, then awesome flexibility. When you do the export raw, you pretty much are trying to use the manual mode. You got it good enough that you have an idea how camera work, speed settings and stuff, and you can take some amazing photos. But if you go to the pro, you can go into the pro mode, you can get a little bit more creative control as well. You don't 100% have to do that. But if you're not, then I'm going to show you some techniques with AI that might can help you out on that as well. All right, we're talking about balancing light and gain. See, ISO means a lot, and the ISO is dealing with the speed of the information coming in with the shutter speed and all this stuff like that. So the higher ISO is, more it's gonna let in the lower end, then lower the light and stuff in. And although it helps a lot, but sometimes it struggle in low light situation. So sometimes by you just adjusting yourself, understand you can adjust it by just sliding this, you might can get a more creative shot. So sometimes people adjust the IO just to get the frame, like you see the waterfall. And sometimes you see the water in motion, it seems like it's just frozen in time, because this is adjustment in the ISO speed, how much information come in. And by how you make it, it'll show like a stream, like a regular stream. And sometimes with the lower setting, it show like it's just like frozen in time. So ISO is your friend if you can frame it just right. But the thing is, most photographers, they're going to do it in a way with their cameras. They can actually catch things, but you can do this actually with your smartphone as well. So just want to let you know some settings that you actually can change there. All right. We talking about, the viewer attention. You really do need to see, and we talked about again with the grid. Understanding the grid and how you can frame a subject and how, what the subject plan is, understanding the background and understanding like you got plants and stuff. Because some people put that, you'll have, let me take a picture, and you're not thinking about it that you got a smartphone, you'll put a person right there by a plant and the plant will come out of the person's head. So you got to use your viewfinder. Use this thing and say, what can I make? How can I make this picture look more better? You might have to move the subject over just a hair or two, maybe, a little over, away from the plant so the plant will let it not go out of your head, maybe in the space so it can have a depth, create some depth of the photo and it don't look so crowded and involved together. So one thing is we want to, framing, a lot. We talked about last week a lot as well, how you can frame your picture, and the viewfinder is not, the phone is not the answer. It's what you actually see. What you there is see. And it's a lot of information there. So you really need to pay attention when you're dealing with framing your subjects and how you want to use, and how do you want to use this as far as dealing with photography in general. It doesn't matter if it's a phone, doesn't matter if you're using a regular camera. All right. And we talked about this. A lot of people get overwhelmed by pro settings, but growth happens outside of your comfort zone. So sometimes you get so used to, I'm just gonna let this do it. I'm gonna let this phone do it itself. But it's okay to try different settings on your phone, just so you get an idea how it works. You never know. It might change your whole aspect of how to use this mobile photography when you use your smartphones and you take amazing pictures. It just open, like we talked about last week, open your mindset. Just open it a little bit more and realize, you know what? I can step outside just auto, just, let me try something a little different and see how it turned out. You never know. It's a season where we have family reunions right now. And instead of, you got the pocket camera in your pocket, take the phone out, change little settings. You never know. You may catch an amazing phone of your relatives, amazing phone of your grandmother, your uncle, your great uncle. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got that Uncle Pete at the barbecue. Uncle Pete always show day. And the amazing thing is with this, you have an opportunity to capture moments in time. So, use your mind. It's all good. It's all good. You don't have to get all frustrated and get bent out of shape. Just take your time and use some of these settings. And right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of these settings right now. So what I'm going to do, actually, last week, I was able to share since we're dealing on live, I was able to share my iPhone and actually go through the live settings. So since I didn't have that set up ready for this live, so what I am going to do, I'm going to share my screen and share some shots that probably will help you a little bit more, I believe, as well. So what we're going to do is, let me see, we going right here, and this is a screenshot of my Samsung Ultra. And you can see the screen right there. Right there at the bottom, you see the camera. So what you do, you'll click on the camera button, like I did earlier. And bam. Once you go to your camera settings, you see, and that was the thing's amazing. Samsung does a good job if you really pay attention how to get to certain things. You don't have to go through all your settings to get to the camera feature. You actually can get through it through your camera. And as you see in this screen right here, if you click on, and I'm gonna go back, if you click on this area right here on your camera phone, it's gonna open up a menu. And the menu right here is gonna get all this stuff, how many megabits, do you want to do night mode, what you expect the ratio is, your flash, and right there is your settings. So you click on that, and then you have your camera settings there. And once you open it up, if you have a Samsung, you can go along with me right now. But you have a Samsung, there's a lot of features in here. And they actually have the features for both the camera and also video. But today we just focus on the camera part of it. So photo enhance is a very good one. I would like y'all guys to look into. And you can click on that one. Photo enhancement. You have your priority, priority, you have balance, then you have priority speed. And this do mean a lot when it comes to processing the images. I leave mine on priority quality because I wanted to make the best digital photo. And when you change it in the speed and stuff, you might not, it's like anything else. If you dedicate it to do something else more than another thing, it can impact the photo. I love a good photo. Main things I like doing with phones, other than, so you text my wife and say, hey, how you doing? All this stuff like that. And send like cute emojis and stuff. Yes, I'm married. I love it. It's also to be able to take amazing pictures at moments and times when we go out and go to places. So one of the things is when you have priority quality, that setting does help when it comes to the Samsung phone. So definitely check out that feature. And I keep that feature on pretty much all the time. All right, as you go back and you scroll some more, you see composition, scroll down, you'll see composition guide. If you click on that composition guide, that one you can turn on your grid for your amazing phone. and I have mine set for grid line and level because when you take photos, sometimes you get off center. You don't seem like that first. Oh, I never catch this picture. So the grid help you frame everything to get the perspective, the feel a depth, and then you have the level. The photo is lined up properly. It's a very good tool, simple setting, but it can change the dynamic of your photos just by turning on that button right there. All right. And then you can go back out, and then there's another mode they call shooting modes. And only reason I showed this right here, because these are the things you can do, like you can do voice commands. And that is, you can say smile, you can say cheese. And if you have it on a tripod with a phone mount, and you want to take it, instead of hitting that 10-second button and running as fast as you can, you get there, hopefully you are in frame. You can actually use voice commands and set yourself properly and just say, hey, you use the word cheese or use the word smile. And also another one is show your palm. So you can get there and get yourself set, and you just hold your hand up. You hold your hand up. And what you could do is also flash and take a picture as well. Because a lot of people, we was at this event, and the guy who took the picture, he used the timer, and he had to run down there. And once he got down there, he realized he was not in the shot. So he had to go back and do the timer all again. Imagine if you can go ahead and set yourself up, set the pictures up in the group. Because like I said, it's family reunion season, and you can go ahead and just use your palm, or just say the word smile or cheese. So I think it's a very good setting for people to actually use as well. All right, so we're gonna go back out. This is back to the camera settings and everything like that. If you go to the word more, click on the word more, and what happened there is gonna give you this screen right here. So you're gonna have pro. It got a whole lot of pro video, a whole lot of stuff talking about food, panoramic, slow mo. But we're gonna focus on pro right now. These settings right there for your cameras, how your cameras reset. So we're gonna you can hit pro right here, and what happened is it'll turn into pro mode, and you'll see your settings will change from the standard, and you'll have your ISO, so you can adjust your ISO. You can check your shutter speed. You can change the ultra wide lens. You can change the wide lens, as this one's already set. You can do total, and then you can do standard total. So, these are things that Pro will allow you to be able to do. Just put some more creative control on your shot, and you're not searching for everything. Just by using Pro, yes, it will take a little bit more data. Yes, it will. It'll take a little bit more data. But the thing is, your shots will be so amazing. You'll think, oh man, you got a professional photographer actually took this. I know I did this myself. And that's the thing about it. Some things you can do and use the technology of today and have make amazing shots. So promo is very good. Like I said, and we're gonna keep it simple because the whole thing is I want your guys to get used to using settings. Used to using these settings that could be beneficial. Like I said, right there, bam, right there, you can be able to change your settings and try and be creative with it. Open your mind, and you never know what amazing shot will come from there. All right, so, and then down right there, you can touch the IO up there, and you can adjust your IO by sliding the bar. So you can just slide, like I said, you can use and be very creative as much as possible, as much you need to be when you use the modes. All right, then you got another one that's called Expert Raw. Now that one, I'll tell you, you're gonna take a lot of your data, and actually, when you click on that one, if you have not got it installed, it's gonna ask you to install another app that's gonna work on top of that. So you don't have to when you go there, it's gonna take you to the Play Store, and you're gonna have to actually download that. Then also, when you open it up, it's gonna ask you, do you want to do location? I think I got it in the slide. You don't want to do location, not. Since this is not my primary phone, those who are security conscious and stuff, be aware when you do select and you say yes, and most so it'll be, it'll know your location, it will keep everything, and not everybody want that. So just be cautious in what feel good to you. I have it set on mine because this is not my primary phone. So therefore, when I take pictures of certain locations, I like to have that information. But when I'm done with my Samsung, I will I'll just turn this phone off. So I'm not worried about any additional data being tracked because I don't have the phone on all the time. So as you see here, when you go to that mode, I tell you, this thing is amazing. So you can do the same thing here. As you see, the icon, the recording icon will change. And you can change it to ultra wide. You can change to wide. You can tell the telephoto. You can get back to standard. And again, you can change the ISOs. You can change the settings, and you have a little bit more deeper control of your phone. It's kind of like you're trying to work it more manually. And this is time when you want to use your creativity 100%, right? You want to use your creativity to be, you know what? Let me try this. If I change this shot over here, for example, you had a family reunion and you want to try something in a low light situation, or you want to try something activity wise there, everybody being active, and your cousins out there playing basketball, your cousins out there playing badminton. Change the settings out and see what type of amazing shots you can gain. But the thing is, yes, remember, the files do get big, and how much more light, how much more information you take in, the bigger the file can be. But with that being said, we talked about last week, as in you always should back up your files, always should back up your data. I don't always keep all my photos on my mobile devices. What I do, I transfer them to a local hard drive. Then also those are very important to me. It's very important to me. Then I have my local devices, maybe even two of them. Then also I have it somewhere offsite, and maybe in a cloud store that I trust or something like that, like even Apple or even Google, those paid accounts, or wherever you feel safe with. So, and this is all I'm talking about location. You click on the raw, you're going to ask you about the location. It's up to you. You want to turn it on or not. But so what we're going to do is, since I show you the settings, we're going to dive into what I did with my wife. I want you to see that, but we're going to jump into the comment field real quick and see what's going on there. So we'll drop this down. Let's go to the comments real quick and see what's in there. All right. Got the amazing Eric L. Harrison here. Love the screen. Saver, my brother. Yes, indeed. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you, because this amazing man, I'm just letting you know, he coming out with some material that'll be life-changing, the Able Man framework. And, I'm proud to be involved with that one way or another. And I just always get a shout out. I think, it gets shout out to people where they're doing great things in the community. So Eric L. Harrison, I appreciate you, my brother, for what you're doing. I have a hard time deciding between iPhone and Samsung. Well, as you still here, my brother, you know what? My daily driver is the iPhone. Reason why, more security wise, I'm so used to the ecosystem as well, because the main thing what I do, I take pictures on the fly. Immediately I come in, I can airdrop them because I use a MacBook Pro, and I got, I'm pretty much in the Apple ecosystem. It's easy for me to use. And as one of my coworkers said a long time ago, he said, it just works. So with that being said, but the thing is, Samsung got its own mode, and I can't remember the technical terms, but you can actually technically share and not airdrop, but you can do a quick share. I think a quick share, a quick link. I have to get the actual technical word for this. And you can do that from I haven't tried it, from Samsung to Apple. You should be able to do it. But if not, I always back up my stuff to my Google Drive. But there's a lot of creative settings you're about to see. So stay in tune. I want you guys to stay in tune. I'm about to show you something that you can do on your Samsung phone that you can't do on Apple right now. iOS 27, promise you'll be able to do some things. But Samsung already got the feature, been having the feature that you can use AI to actually to to change things on a photo on your phone. So you don't have to go to like ChatGPT. You don't have to go to Gemini. You can actually do it straight on your device. And we're going to talk about that in a second. So definitely stick it around for that. I want you to stick around for that one. And I never go into these settings. Thank you for this. Yes. It just changed. It tweaked just even the grid. Just framing would change your shot. Even you don't go to promo, you can just change some of your settings that so it can, and you take your time. You know about that. You already tell me that as well, right? Take your time. So we appreciate that, and just some good questions and good comments. Keep on sending them comments because we're about to dive into something real quick that we really think will be very beneficial to each and every person. So what I want to actually do, give me a moment and so I can find it real quick. And I did a recording, and I want you guys to check this out. And you'll see, because we talked about it earlier, as I brought up earlier when I talked about this amazing photo with my wife. This amazing photo that she did. This amazing photo, right? And bam, that come here. I want to show you how I did that. I want to show you how I did. So what we're going to do is, bam, there we go. We go right here. And what I did, went to photos. This is after I took the picture, right? I took the picture of my wife, right? So you see there, I took the picture of my amazing wife, and I was going through, I said, I want to do something a little bit more different. So I went ahead and clicked on her photo that I took. I took so many amazing photos, by the way. And what I did, I clicked on the AI part feature. And it recognized you had the Detroit Pistons shirt on. We don't get into that. We had the conversation earlier. What up, though? And and I typed in the prompt. This is amazing right here. Why I typed in the prompt right here. I typed in the prompt. Okay, change the background to an outside nature, and I had to type the word "scene" in there. You see it right there, nature scene. Sometimes other technology when they do the autofill and stuff like that, so saying while you're watching tech, hope y'all hear the music in the background. That's the new theme song for Wise. It's going live. And I love this beat right here. So I think they would comment why you see the screen typing. It's screen in the spring. All right. And then we're gonna say, didn't mean, yeah, I gotta think a little bit more. All right, surround it with beautiful. There we go. Then I went ahead and said flowers and match the shirt. So, it's plenty of high detail. More detail you put in, more AI will be able to process stuff. The less information in, the less be able to process. So I did that. So when I finished it up, when I said they matched her shirt, because she won Detroit. She's Detroit Pistons, 100% Detroit all day, every day. What up, though? So, all right. Then I hit, bam, you see it generate. It says it's thinking. There you go. Replacing background. I love how you just show it, tell you what it's doing this time. All this is from the Samsung phone. All this comes from the Samsung phone. Bam. And what it did, it generated 4 different scenes right there, just like that. And I'm like, okay, now I got something to work with. So I was sitting there, so okay, which one do I want to actually try out? So the first one I thought was very amazing. And then I said, I'm going to click on the second one. The second one, okay, it's all right, Third one, I said, all right, you don't want to talk about it. Then that one, that said, it looked like it's on a snow day, don't look like spring, even though it's white leaves. I said, nah. Not done that one. But that one right there gave you the golden hour effect. And that one there, like middle of the day, and this right here, give you like early in the morning effect. So I chose the golden hour. I like the golden hour look because it have the sun he's right behind you. So I thought that was an amazing photo, and I would definitely thought it was very powerful how you can do that very simply by typing a prompt on your phone from this amazing photo right there. See how beautiful that photo is? Just amazing. That came from the Samsung Ultra 26. And then just typing the prompt in, and you know, you see how beautiful, how the details, how they still look realistic. What's your thoughts on it? Do it look real to you guys? What's your thought process from coming from this? This is an amazing photo by itself. Then you transition over by typing the prompt. So I'd like to know your thoughts on it. Do you like that result? Because we're about to try something real quick before we end up leaving this live for the night. So then go to the comments. All right. I see you said nice. That's right. That's one advantage right now that you can get on Samsung on the Ultra line that you can't get with Apple. Apple is coming out with it. My understanding is with iOS 27. That's one of the features for iOS 27. You should be able to do that extra generation. But you know what we're gonna do is let me share something real quick, and we're gonna try something. I believe this is going to bless us today. So I'm gonna do a share real quick. Give me a moment, family. We'll see if I can find that amazing one. Oh, there we go. And we sharing. Bam. We sharing right now. And you see my screen. I'm in right now. I am in Gemini. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see what Gemini and ChatGPT come with just by doing that. So what we're gonna do is create an image, right? So once you create an image in Gemini, they give you all these formats and stuff. So I technically follow the original rule. I don't think you have to all the time. So I'm gonna put create a image. Then bam. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to take the original prompt that I did in the Google AI feature, and I'm going to add to Gemini and see what it come up with. And I do have the original photo right here, so I'm going to drop it. That's what I love about it. You can just drop it in there and see what it come up with. So, bang. And get a moment for it to do its thing. There we go. So we're gonna click on this and see what it come up with. All right now. So we get a different image. This one, y'all guys can really see it. Oh man. You see the image here, right? It's actually pretty beautiful, but it looked like back in the day, those who did photography and had a lot of backgrounds. I had backgrounds back in the day. And when I have clients come over, I'll put them in front of a background, and then with the camera stuff, I definitely adjust my ISO, my depth of field and stuff, and give that a little, because when you take the initial shot and you make no adjustments, you have an image like that, like you put the person right in front of a background. That's what it look like right there. It's a beautiful photo, but you can tell it's like she's been placed there. So it don't have that dynamic like the other one they did with the Google AI feature that was built into the phone. So with that being said, all right, and we're gonna do the same. Let's do the same thing. I'm gonna do a copy and paste here, and we're gonna go to ChatGPT and create a image there. And we're gonna do the same thing. Then put the prompt there, and then we do A drag and drop anything it will add with it. I want to make sure it did it. This is my first time of doing it. This is my first time. Did it take it? That's the question. Ah, hey, it might have to refresh it. Let's see what happens. All right. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say add a photo. It didn't like it that way, so I'm gonna look for my photo. It should be on the E, like original. Upload. Okay. It didn't like the drag and drop like Gemini. Gemini, you can go ahead and drag and drop. Apparently you can do it here too, but it didn't take it. So what I had to do, I had to go in and upload a photo, right? So we're gonna see what ChatGPT do with this same prompt. So give it a moment and see how long does it take. Will it be as quick as Gemini? Okay. It's taking its sweet time. Y'all guys enjoy the music. Wait. Unless it's something and it just disappeared on a brother. So maybe because I did not log in. And hey, this what happens when you go live, family. What happens when you go live. Oh, and then they want me to check my inbox. So and I don't have it set up right now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go off camera for a second. Give me one moment. There we go. All right. And we do share. There we go. I want to see what the share screen is. Give me a moment, family, because I definitely want to see how this thing come up with ChatGPT. I don't use ChatGPT as much these days, but we're gonna figure out what that code is, and we're gonna make this thing happen real quick. So give me a second, and we're gonna make this thing happen. All right. Let's see what it does. There we go. We are back in. All right. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go back and change. Go ahead and share my screen again. Go ahead and close this. There we go. It still kept the thing there, and we're going to upload and see if it does it. Thank you for your patience, family. Okay. I'm just curious. So let's not do instant. Let's go ahead and do medium and see what it does. There we go. Look like you're doing now. Look like you're doing something now. Let's see what it come up with. Mm-hmm. All right. It takes a little bit longer than when you use it with Gemini. And I like using Gemini because Gemini is a little bit more easier when you're dealing with graphics, and they actually keep it realistic look a lot more. I know they had made it upgrades in the last month or so with ChatGPT, and we're about to find out in a second once it's finished. So, okay, there we go. So it looked like did it get 4 or just no? It just did 1. So, all right. So let's do this. We'll click on this. Actually, this one, I would say this one looked much better because it gives you depth of field. So as like I was saying, as a photographer, when I was doing portrait photography and I had backgrounds, I had to change the settings on my camera, my own settings. So therefore it gave a more vocal look. So it gave you that effect, that you actually is in nature. It didn't look like you're in front of a background. So I love even though it took a little bit longer. And we'll go back. I'm gonna go back here, and I'll bring this one up again. Even though it's a beautiful shot, and it had the light hitting her hair and all that stuff, that it still looks like she's placed there. compared to this one, well, even though it don't have a light there, it don't have the light there. It looked like she's actually standing at a nature scene. So with that being said, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try one more thing. Then we're gonna wrap up this amazing show tonight. Now with this prompt, I'll put in there and let me see if I can I put that prompt in there with about this changing the background to a nature scene. I'm gonna add a little bit more and see that there would be a change. So with that being said, let me look at it again. And this is Gemini, so it's just me. I'm just a creature of habit. So I want to say create an image. All right. Then paste that there. And I'm going to take the original photo, drop it in there. Now we're going to see what it's going to do. All right. So we're going to hit submit. Now this one right here gave some definition. It said, I transform your photo, replacing the indoor background with a luscious sunset garden filled with spring flowers. And here is the specific edit. So bam. So there you go. And this one here looked a little bit more realistic. It got the details in here. It actually made her a little bit more sharper. This right here is the winner. Now, and what it did is, in case you didn't see, if you look at over her left shoulder, you'll see the pink. You'll see the pink roses, right? Then you'll start seeing how the depth of field start going behind her to give her a range of depth. It's not like you see flowers and there's a row of flowers behind her. It gave it a depth of field, so it created. Then you see the lines of the trees and how the bulk of that. So like she's right there at the plants. Then and bam, saying the depth of field, take it back there, so it make it look more realistic. So I think it's a very amazing shot. Very good, Gemini. All right. So with that being said, like I said, add in a few more details in there. So a few more details. And we're gonna go to ChatGPT. They did a good job with this one. So, and then that nature scene. So what we're gonna do this again. We're gonna go ahead and say add an image. No, we're not doing add it. We're already doing create image. So let me take this back. And no, let's put create image there. I didn't realize something how I did a thing. So let's do this right. Let's make sure we do it right. We had the right settings. So we did that. So I'm glad I did that. Now we're going to add a file. Upload. Wait to load. Now we're going to do it again. And this is a comment while we're waiting. This is a comment. Love how you are teaching it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because one of the things I want people to realize, this is something you can do on your own. I used to play the paid plans in ChatGPT and Gemini. When we went to a conference a few years ago, we had a Google representative, and he made sure he said, yes, if you pay for the services, they do not train off of the data. The free ones, you might get it, but with that, they would have to train, they would be able to take the information, train off of it. Maybe they do, maybe not, but I was told by a representative who actually deal with the AI standpoint, if you pay for these models, you pay for it, they do not train off your data. So I'd rather go ahead and pay it so I can be able to use the way I want to and be able to have, some control. And the whole thing with this is not trying to say, hey, I'm trying to fool somebody's stuff. It's using your creativity, using your imagination, because everything, how you daydream, think about how you daydream and you imagine sudden and beautiful places, your imagination. This right here is actually using AI for your imagination. that my beautiful wife, she took a major shot. Hey, let me do something a little bit different. What happened if I can't make it to the park and be able to do this? How will it look as I do this amazing scene for her, right? So you see it came in and it actually did an amazing job. Actually, it has what it did. Actually, the depth of field is very good. What Gemini did is actually show a lot of the foliage, like right there with it, showing that. Then you see the depth of field go out like that. While this one actually has already the depth of field applied. So both of them are amazing shots. But I would like to know your comments on that. So I'm gonna bring this one up again. So which one do you think you liked? Let me know. Hit me in the comments. Ask a question, whatever it is. What you thought? If you like the version that what ChatGPT did, or you like the one with Gemini? I kind of like the, a little bit more flower, a little more color. In my life now, I'm a little bit more colorful person. So I like a little more color in my life. So, so I think this one is a definite one. You can't go wrong when you have a perfect model. Like I am Lakeisha, my own beautiful wife. So, so thank you, babe, for taking the time to actually do one photo and everything like that. So, all right, fam. I think this was actually pretty amazing. And now we're going to the part. If anybody have any questions and concerns, you can throw it in the chat right now. If you don't have any questions, then you're definitely more welcome. Like somebody did, I'm going to share a question that came up last week, and I'm going to share that with you before we end this amazing live. All right, this question came up last week after the fact. It said, what is the difference in the sizes for photo files when you switch from standard to like per raw? And then we'll talk about the iPhone. So that question came up. So in response to that, these are, and I did my research, and these are the sizes, because with Apple, you can use the FEIF format, which is about 1.5 megabytes to 2.5, right? Those smaller size, it gives you good detail, but a small size. Then you have your standard JPEG, which is between 3 and 5 megabytes. When you transfer to the Pro RAW with the megapixel sensor, you get to 25 megabyte. You can get up to 25 megabyte file. Big jump from 3 to 5, right? That data take up on your phone. Because the question was, it doesn't take up much data. Yes, it takes up much data, but it's a big jump in the quality of the file. Then if you go to Pro RAW using the 48 megapixel, then you can jump up easy to 75 megabytes to 100 megabytes and plus. So that was a great question that was asked last week. And if y'all guys have any questions, let me know. And definitely we'll bring it back on the next live and actually share things about it. All right. So thank you. You're welcome, my love. Indeed. We appreciate you, my babe. I appreciate you so much. And we're going to do some more photography things together. And we're going to show people and let them know, they can use these things for their benefit of their life and take amazing photos. If they can't, going to be creative with it. The whole idea is use your mind to be creative. It's a very simple process, but you see how the photos look so amazing. So let me see, have any comments? So what we want to do is some of the things that we do that in Y Schwartz Media, that's the company that I have, and my team definitely helps out a lot with the standpoint of just teaching people how to use AI. But also we're in the part where we also do development as well. So we're going to I'll share this with you, content information with you. If you go to yshortsmedia.us, and then you'll see our amazing website where we definitely help you see your vision through AI. And we help people, corporations, companies, and how to use and train them how to be creative and using this stuff for their marketing standpoint, the social media, for whatever projects they have dealing with this. And we also get on amazing websites as well. If you need help with web design, you got tools out there that can create websites, landing page, just like that. But if you need someone with a back end, you need stuff to help you with doing communities and stuff like that. My team is very good with that as well, as far as getting, so you can focus on the business at hand and lead the creativity tool on my team. So definitely, and one of the sites is definitely Wise is going live. So I definitely want you guys to check it out. And then we still, and I do a podcast, My Ways and Wise Living Unchained podcast. So definitely check that out as well. So you definitely will get in contact with Wise Choice Media. We appreciate that. If you want to know more things, I'm going to open up this browser and share the website at Wise Going. We should spell it better. There you go. And this is the website, Wise Going Live. And that website right there, if you want to purchase the amazing book, entitled Where. It's, it's a life journey for the search of identity and manhood. It's a perfect book for anybody who's growing up and had to deal with a lot of challenges in life and how to persevere. The book is to be a blessing, not enough for you. If anybody have challenges, people have challenges in life as well. And like I mentioned before, the amazing Eric L. Harrison will be coming out with a program soon, the Able Man framework that actually would help you have accountability as well. You see the reviews here, and you get your copy today. You want to know a little bit more about me, you can click and connect with me here. And then, of course, you see the episode we just talked about here. So amazing time, family. Again, I want to thank everybody who participated in this live. Thank you, family, for everything you do. Looking forward to see you on the next Wise is Going Live. So go ahead and use these techniques. Let me know how it is. Hit me in the comments. Hit me in the DMs in my Instagram. It'd be J Mullane Wise, one word, and Instagram. And let me know how you think your features hit you as well. Family, I appreciate your time, your effort. Looking forward for the next live, because like I said, we got some other things that are coming up. How we can use these amazing technology and the smartphone cameras and stuff to take pictures of events, take pictures going away, and have amazing photos. If something is not the way you want it, then you use the power of AI to enhance it as well. All right, family, just remember this. Love is an action word. While you're taking the time to love yourself, make sure you show love to someone else. And we see you on the next Wise is Going Live. Peace.